Hey y'all, Eric here with another one. Thanks for joining me on another video. It has been over 100 days since I posted a video and I had my back injury. I'm about 95% healthy, feeling pretty good, but wanted to get a video out to you to kind of just get back in the routine of making videos, but also wanted to give you a follow-up on the plug grow area that we did about 18 months ago, as a couple of the comments were asking how that progress is going. So just a quick update about what I'm currently doing in my lawn. Just yesterday, today is November 14th, so November 13th, I put down a pretty heavy application of prodiamine. I did 1.6 ounces for every 2 gallons of product for every 2,000 square feet. So that's about 0.8 ounces per gallon per 1,000 square feet. That's a little higher than mid-range. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I wasn't able to put down a prodiamine application when I was out with my back. Did have some weeds come through, nothing too serious, but wanted to make sure that I put on a nice heavy application that'll likely carry me through February, March, but I'll likely throw down some dithiopyr around that January time frame, just to make sure I'm double sure to try and knock out any possibility of Poa annua. The Poa annua this past year was absolutely brutal. So I'm trying to eliminate it. I likely won't eliminate all Poa annua. It's really hard to do, especially with how much I had last year. Those seeds went everywhere. Tried my best to mow them down before the seeds got to be mature, but you can only do what you can do. It has been unseasonably warm this year. I mean, we are still it's 49 degrees right now at around noon. This is the coldest day we've had in a while. We were hitting 70, 72 degrees. We had a couple 80-degree days over the last couple weeks in November. So it's been unseasonably warm. Weeds are definitely starting to show in some areas, which I will follow up when it's not raining outside. It's currently raining right now, which is perfect since last night I put down the prodiamine. But want to try to get on top of the weeds, the spring weeds for sure, because some of the winter weeds have already started to pop up, which is okay. I'll show you what I'm going to do about those in a video next week, because I plan on dousing those with something, but we'll get back to that next week. The other thing that I'm doing right now is once every 3 to 4 weeks, I'm going to throw down some RGS, the root growth stimulant. There is a video I've done about that I'll put in the corner here. Really, any product that has humichar in it that promotes root growth and soil health is going to work just great. So you don't have to use what I'm using. I find that the RGS is very good. It works very well. But I also have other humichar products. I have the Simple Lawn Solutions iron that I might throw down as well, which has a humichar element to it. So anything that has those sorts of elements within the product, use. What I'm not using at all is any sort of nitrogen. I'm trying to get my grass to go to sleep right now and go to sleep quietly. Putting down the prodiamine this late, the reason why I did that is because it has been unseasonably warm. I didn't want to throw it down while the grass was still very, very healthy, because it doesn't do damage to the roots, but it does limit the roots' ability to uptake nutrients. So I was throwing down the RGS during the warmer period in October, just to ensure I have the healthiest roots possible going into the winter. So let's get into the area that I plugged 18 months ago. So I am going to B-roll some video that I took while it was raining today. It's not the best video to show you, but just to show that the grass did grow in fine. It's a little thinner right now because although my grass isn't fully dormant, it is definitely working its way towards dormancy. I'm still having problems with fescue. You'll see some of the fescue in there. That Bermuda did come back, and it came back with a vengeance. I decided to let it go because, again, I was injured. There's not much that I could do. Virginia buttonweed, chamber bitter, what else came through? Some dandelions came through. I was unable to put down the late spring application of prodiamine. So what happened is weeds infiltrated that area. So unfortunately, I just let them run. I had a friend that came by and mowed my lawn, God bless him. And we kept everything down before it started to seed, and I was bagging everything at that point. So I let the weeds run their course. By the time I was well enough to hit the weeds with some weed killer, it was too late in the season. This would have been like early October when I started to feel okay enough to carry around a 2-gallon jug of liquid. And I just didn't feel comfortable putting down any sort of herbicide that late into the season. I don't know if that's the right call. Let me know what you all would have done. But for me, my theory is less is more sometimes. And I'll make another video showing you that with an example that I've talked about in the past in my backyard and how well that area is doing because I just left it alone. St. Augustine has a way of healing itself and crowding out any sort of weeds that'll come back the following year. Obviously, we helped that a little bit in the early spring, but right now I'm just very happy with the area. Now, the proof will be, will it come back next year? It has a tendency to be slower to come back, that certain area that I plugged. I've got a good feeling about it. I will be adding some fungicide throughout the winter as we get either snow. We may not get snow again this year, but any sort of frost or freeze, I just do a kind of a precautionary fungicide treatment in those areas just because it seems to attract more fungus. Also, I was able to get down some insecticide late season this year because those spittle bugs and a couple of those black crickets were starting to come back. I believe I got them in time. As you can see in the video that I took, the little B-roll, that it still looks fairly thick, even though it wants to go dormant right now. So overall, I'm happy with the area. I'm not ecstatic about it, but I do have some confidence that since it didn't die off in the spring this year, that the chances of it coming back next year are higher just because everything's just a lot more established than it was going into winter of last year. I think that's enough out of me for this video. I appreciate you listening. This isn't like a full production video, not that any of my videos are really full production. My microphone wasn't working, so I decided to use my headset, which I hope sounds good for you all. But just appreciate you sticking around. Hope you like the update. I will be putting out more videos as the weeks progress here, closing out 2024. Hope that you'll stick with me, and we'll be back in full swing 2025 as spring starts to come about. But just appreciate you coming along, and we will see you on the next one. Bye now.